In this video, we're going to be covering door groups and device groups. Device groups and door groups give you a very handy way of organizing your site and assigning devices to different places later. It's very useful later when we set up our access levels as well. So let me give you a tour of this now. On our screen, we can now see device groups. And as you remember, we have our registered devices here, and we have the ability to select devices and group them using this button. Let's look at those groups now. Currently, I have two groups set up for this site, door locks and readers. If I click on door locks, I can see both of the devices that are in that group. Clicking on a device group just gives me a filtered view of the devices that only includes the devices in that group. So let's go back to device groups and let's add one more new device group. I'm going to add one called patches, and then I'm going to select all of the devices here that are patches, and I'll click OK. And now when I click here on patches, it shows me all of these devices. Now back to device groups again. We also have the ability to add groups as a subgroup. So if I click subgroup here, I can select a parent group. So let's go to readers, and we'll call this one Airfob Space. And I will select this Airfob Edge Reader Ultimate, Airfob Edge Reader, and this Airfob Edge Reader Ultimate as well, and click OK. And now I can see readers and this subgroup of Airfob Space readers as well. Now, of course, you can set device groups like this, but you can also set them from the Registered Devices menu. So let's go to this Registered Devices menu, and I'm going to select several patch devices, and I'd like to add these to a group. I can see that they're already in the patches group. You see here that they are all in the patches group, but I'd like to add them to the door locks group as well, because these patches are on door locks. So clicking here puts them in door locks, and I just click OK. And now that has been applied as well. You can see here that the device groups are all listed now in this column, and you can manually filter for device groups as well, just like this. Now let's move over to the door groups. Door groups are very similar, and you can see here that I currently have one group called exterior doors. But let's make another group called interior doors. And I will add these to this door. And I can also add a subgroup here. So let's start with interior doors, and we have some trap doors actually. In here. So this will be our trapdoor reader. And you can see here that we now have trapdoors listed under the doors as well. If I click on that, I see a filtered view, just as I would with clicking on interior doors. Now, it's very important to mention with both the door groups and device groups that they are not hierarchical in the way that you might think. So for example, if I add a door to a subgroup, it doesn't automatically become a member of the parent group. These are just organizational structures. So you could have a door group, for example, that does not have any doors in it at all. So we have 0 doors in this group, and we are going to make a new subgroup under no doors, that is yes doors, And we're going to add all the doors to this. And as you can see, no doors still has no doors in it, whereas yes doors has 4 doors in it. Keep this in mind later when you are making access levels, because if you want to add door groups to access levels or device groups to access levels, you will need to add the specific subgroup that you're looking for. Adding the parent group will not automatically add everything that is in the subgroups. That's an overview of how to set up device groups and door groups in Airfob Space.